Okay, I'm audible, right? All
Yes,
right,
ma'am.
let's get started. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining in. My name is Manmeet. I have a couple of my colleagues, Chavi and Mani, joining in for today's webinar. And what we are going to talk about in today's webinar, as you know from the topic, is how a potential adopter can fast track their Sunbird journey, right? And how we as a team can play a role in that. So today's webinar has three sections, which we will cover. In the first section, we will cover what is Sunbird, what are its building blocks. We'll cover few details around some of its important building blocks. Although all of them are important, we'll cover few key ones. And then we'll also cover the major adopters who have adopted Sunbird building blocks at scale or Sunbird at scale, and how their journey is going, some details around that. Post that, that would be the first section. Second section, we would cover how as a partner in this journey, we have been able to be part of these adopters' journeys, as well as how we have evolved along with Sunbird in this entire 6+ years of journey, right? And we'll also talk about what has been our contribution in this journey along with the adopters in this journey. In the third section of the webinar, we'll talk about how our team, the Sunbird Center of Excellence, can help you as a potential adopter fast track your Sunbird journey, and few of our offerings which you can utilize to help you start this journey and also endure this journey towards realizing your customers' expectation as well. So with that, let us get started. And first, I would like to invite my colleague Mani to cover the first section of this webinar. Over to you, Mani.
Thanks, Manmeet. I'm from the Sunbird product community. I've been part of the Sunbird product community for the last 4 years. I'm proud and delighted to say that the journey has been absolutely breathtaking with a lot of learnings and experiences. And more than anything else, when I think that the contribution has impacted billions of lives, believe me, I have no express my emotion. I'm sure if not everyone, at least like most of them would be feeling the same way. So what is Sunbird? So Sunbird is a set of open source building blocks for learning and human development designed to address scale and diversity. It can be used by any organization, whether it is government, private organization, it's an NGO, any organization can use it. It is purposefully designed in a generalized and externalized manner so that any organization can configure and extend it in their context and domain. So let's see how Sunbird has been used to create a variety of solutions. In the iGot Karmayogi, it has been used for capacity building. In Lex Infosys, it is used for corporate learning. In Diksha, it is used for school education. Covin, it's used for issuing the vaccination certificates in the health space. And the language translation space, we have Suvas and Amarvasha. Just a small note about Suvas and Amarvasha, because I think maybe some of you might be aware of some of these solutions, but I want to have a special mention about the Suvas and Amarvasha. So Suvas is a portal that is used by the Supreme Court of India, and this is powered by AI. So all the judicial documents, all the judgments, all the orders, they have all been converted from English language to the vernacular language and vice versa. And similarly, this Amar Vasha is used by the Supreme Court of Bangladesh, where the same judicial documents and other related ones have been converted from English to Bangla. So we saw what is Sunbird and how Sunbird has been used to create a variety of use cases. But how did all these Sunbird eco players create these variety of solutions? Let's dive a little deeper. Assume every building block to be a Lego block. Let's assume that I have a lot of Lego blocks in front of me. What is that I can do with it? I could probably just play or use the Lego as it is, or I could use multiple Lego blocks and create some beautiful structure that I want. Maybe I could create a car, I could create a truck, I could create a house, whatever I want to create. Based on my need, I could create. So building block is very similar to Lego block. A building block can be independently used. It independently function on its own and provide the generalized capabilities. Or a building block can be used or integrated with an existing infra and used, create a solution. Or multiple building blocks can be created together to suit the organization needs. Because the building blocks are interoperable, it can be used in any of the ways. So let's look at some of the building blocks that are there as part of Sunbird. So we have Sunbird Ed, which is the microservices and the reference apps, which any organization, any adopter can use it to jumpstart their learning journey. We have Sunbird Knowledge. So Sunbird Knowledge has the microservices and the pluggable tools that are used to create rich and diverse content. It can be used to organize the contents into collection. For example, textbooks can be created, courses can be created, or playlists can be created. Taxonomy can be created. Sunbird Learn is another building blocks where it helps with the user management, registration, authorization, login, and stuff like that. And it also helps with the interactions, user interactions, like groups and discussion forums. You could have batches created, the course progress can be tracked. Sunbird Co-Create is another building block which is used to crowdsource content. So most of the time it is not possible to, the source content in-house. So sometimes when you want to crowdsource it, you have these microservices and the reference app where projects could be created, and based on the need, the contributors can start contributing. All the entire curation workflow can be done through Sunbird Co-Create. We have Sunbird Observe. So Sunbird Observe has the microservices and the data products, which could capture the metrics and perform the analytics using telemetry data emitted by any of the building blocks. And there is a report configurable tool that can be used to create dashboards. And looking at this data dashboard, any adopter or organization can derive meaningful insights and they could plan accordingly. And Sunbird RC has the microservices for creating electronic registry. There are a lot of building blocks. We covered few of them, but if you want to know more about any of these building blocks, please visit sunbird.org and you have all the information furnished there in the microsite. So let's look at Sunbird Ed building block. The reason why I'm starting with Sunbird Ed is because most of the adoptions that we have in Sunbird is powered by Sunbird Ed. So just let's look at why Sunbird Ed has been adopted by multiple adopters. What is so special about it? So as I mentioned earlier, Sunbird Ed has, it has those microservices and the reference apps that any adopter can use to kickstart their journey, learning journey. I mean, they don't have to really, do anything additional. Just take Sunbird as it is, start using it. And what does Sunbird Ed contain? So Sunbird Ed has integrated with multiple other building blocks like knowledge, learn, inquiry, co-create, and so on. So previously we saw lot of building blocks. What are the various building blocks that Sunbird has? And in the context of Sunbird, what are the various building blocks that is integrated to power this building block? So we have been talking about what is Sunbird, how is it used in a variety of use cases, how the ecosystem players really created these solutions, and various building blocks. But what does a building block contain? What exactly is a building block? So the building block, every building block, all that it contains is, it contains code. When I say code, it could be microservices, it could be pluggable tools or reference application, and it also has some of the specifications. So all of these building blocks could, or rather each of these building blocks could have all of this, or it could just have one of it, or it could have one or two of it. So let's look at some of the adoptions of Sunbird. So please note that there are a lot of adoptions, and most of the adoptions are at scale. So we are not going to look at all the adoptions. We are going to look at some of the important adoptions and how Sunbird has been used in different combinations to create these solutions. So that is what we want to look at. To start with, we look at Sunbird Ed, couple of big adoptions. So one is Diksha. So Diksha is the national school, the national digital infrastructure platform for the school education. So it is an initiative of NCRT under the Ministry of Education. It is in fact a successful global case study. So Diksha can be accessed by learners and teachers across the country, and currently it supports 36 Indian languages. Each state and union territory leverages the Diksha platform in its own way. I mean, as it has the freedom and choice to use the varied capabilities and solutions of the platform, to design and run programs for teachers, learners, and administrators. It has 60 billion plus of minutes of learning, 5.1 billion learning sessions, 167 million plus course enrollments. I mean, it's really big because it's running at scale. So let's look at one more adoption of Sunbird Ed. It is NULP, is the National Urban Learning Platform. It's basically the vehicle through which the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs plan to achieve its capacity building goals. So it is envisioned as a means of, digitally consolidating key skills and knowledge required by the urban practitioners, stakeholders, and making these available to all sectors on the channel of their choice. So what does it do? I mean, it includes tools to enable and streamline content creation, content organization, management, course building, course management, assessment, certification. And this is entirely powered by Sunbird Ed. Like how Diksha took Sunbird as it is, Sunbird Ed as it is, NULP has also taken Sunbird Ed as it is, and it's been using it in their context. Now, the next adopter that we would want to look at is IGOT. So IGOT Karma Yogi. So IGOT stands for Integrated Government Training, and Karma Yogi is actually the name of the mission. So we call it IGOT Karma Yogi. So this is actually an online platform to guide the individual civil services officials in their capacity building journey. So what does it aim is, like, the entire mission as such aims to inform in the capacity building apparatus at the individual, institutional, and process levels. So what these civil servants do is they take online courses and they'll be evaluated based on their courses, their performance in each course they have taken, spreading across their span of services. So when IGOT Karma Yogi platform was supposed to be built, so there was discussion around it, and what happened was they decided to take the Sunbird knowledge building block. So the entire microservices and the pluggable tools in Sunbird knowledge has been used in addition to the existing infra, and this platform has been built. So this is another example of how just one building block can be picked up on top of the existing infra that the adopter or organization already has, and then built on top of it to suit your need. So this is a classic example of that scenario. We have another adopter. Educate Girls. So Educate Girls is an NGO that, works with the government, community, and, the village volunteers to ensure that every girl in India, especially the remotest part of India, gets education. And most predominantly, like there are a lot of girls like who are able to, study till 7th, 8th, 9th, but then they got dropped out. They were not able to take their 10th. So these volunteers, they actually go and, talk to these girls and like help them, get them trained, take up exams. And when this Educate Girls as an organization wanted to build a platform, they reached out to Sunbird. So this platform is completely powered by Sunbird Ed. This is another classical example how Sunbird Ed has been used as it is in this use case. So I hope that you got a good overview of Sunbird, its various building blocks, how they can be used independently or combined with other building blocks to create a solution that suits your need. You could visit sunbird.org to get more information about Sunbird and its building blocks. And probably if you have any question and answer, please type it in the chat box and we could answer that. Yeah. Over to you, Ravi.
Thank you, Mani. So while we've just got an overview of how adopters could benefit and use Sunbird for different requirements, I think it's also good we see this from the other side of the coin in terms of the journey of a partner. Now, how has Sunbird really evolved and delivered so much in this period of time? It is clearly within active ecosystem of partners who are part of this Sunbird community and are contributing, working together and delivering the solutions. So while there are a lot of partners, each partner comes with its own specialization. For example, when we look at a development partner, Taranto has played a very big role and continues to be a key development partner. In the same way, when we look at DevOps, then it's OptIT. When we look at, TechD, they've created their own SaaS platform for helping faster adoption. Well, in that sense, Qualitrix is a partner which focuses on designing from the product design to testing to the support infra of the same, the support solutioning of the same. So when I want to spend a little bit of time on the partner journey here, and as a use case, I'll be considering Qualitrix because that's something close and easier for me. Let's look at Xstep. When Xstep started, all of these partners were part of the ecosystem from the beginning, from the inception, and they've journeyed when the solutions of Diksha, of Vidyadan were built in, when Shiksha Lokam came into play, and many, many more adopters. Having been empaneled with DIC, it becomes possible to partner and engage with many more adopters, helping them fast track their journey. Going on even with Trigen today, where they are taking forward the roadmap for Diksha. We'll now deep dive into 3 specific use cases, which kind of will help us understand how this partner ecosystem actually works to deliver solutions at scale in a very short span of time. So Diksha is something Mani has already touched upon, and we've seen how impactful it has been. Specifically to note over here is that India being as diverse as it is, languages play a huge role in this. And when you're talking about reaching all children across India, obviously you will also have to have an application and a solution which is catering to the language needs. And Diksha ensures not just language needs are met, having developed this entire thing in an agile framework, agile methodology, extremely fast-paced environment, lot of changes. So we've been able to, be a part of this and learn from the ground up by over so many years. What we will see next is the fact that as an organization, the functional expertise which has been built on Sunbird and on all the various building blocks has come across the playing of multiple roles, from product management and designing, speaking with on ground individuals to see what exactly are their needs, to supporting with the testing requirements, bringing in the expertise and the knowledge to ensure a very robust solution goes out, to the other side of the spectrum where an application is rolled out and a solution is rolled out, and then there are queries which users have from they're from on ground, and ensuring a support system is also available. So with all of this work having gone through over the years, a functional expertise automatically gets built. The next slide focuses, gives a glimpse of the involvement and the outcome of some of the activities done on the ground, where working from manual to automation testing to support, all of these have been key in ensuring a very robust solution is created. I'll now move on to another use case. When we talk about educating children or supporting teachers in their learning requirements, it is extremely and equally important that we also are able to impact the senior leadership at the school level. And Shiksha Lokam has taken on this extremely critical part of the learning, where their entire focus is on the school leadership level and ensuring the ideas of growth and of meaningful learning happen from the top down. So we've been it's been a good journey for us to be a partner with Shiksha Lokam as well, across so many years and across so many releases, and as well as in their support framework. The next, I'd like to focus on Vidyadan. Now, any content, any learning which happens for a child obviously requires relevant content to be available. It's obviously very critical that a school-going child has a little more options of learning beyond the textbook, because the textbook would explain a particular topic in one paragraph or maybe a page. Or if you take maths as a subject, there would be practice questions at the end. Now, for optimal learning, obviously, the more variety of content in terms of videos or other documents which can be used by a child to learn more or to practice more. If any of this is available, the learning is obviously going to be better. Now, the data actually shows that more than 2.5 lakh pieces of content have already been contributed by thousands and thousands of individuals coming together in their local languages, contributing content, which is very, very relevant. And when you talk about scale like this, an application like Vidyadan, a solution like Vidyadan would obviously need to be robust, to be able to manage scale and be usable. And it has been, again, a very, very great learning experience to be part of that as well. What I would like to focus on next is an understanding of reusability. Now, the moment we talk about Sunbird, we think of it as an open source. Now, a community of Sunbird would require people to, again, put back into the community. So when we talk about reusability, it is very critical that any new adopter who comes in is able to fast track their journey, is able to, take things which are ready-made, either in terms of being able to build something more on top of building block that is already there, or be able to test it faster, or be able to design it faster, design it with people who understand it really well, or be able to create a support function so that they can solve queries of their end users best. So all of this is actually existing, and it's very critical for us as an adopter to be able to identify the right partners so that our learning curve in this is very less, and our ability to get up and running is much faster. So with this, I hand over to Manmeet. And if you have any questions, please feel free to add them in the Q&A section. Thank you.
Thanks, Chavi. Just pause to see if there are any questions. Don't see anything so far. Great. I think the understanding either has been clear, or we'll wait for some more questions till we complete the webinar. So as part of the third part of this webinar, which is quite important and relevant to what we want to cover today, is that so far Mani has taken you through what is Sunbird, its key adopters, the concept of building blocks, how building block came about. She gave an example correlating building blocks to Legos blocks. You can mix and match. You can play with only one Lego block, or you can have multiple of those in different colors, different sizes, and try to build a solution which is relevant to you and your customers. And she also spoke about some of the key building blocks which have been adopted at scale and continue to deliver at scale. And when we're talking at scale, we're talking about a country of size of India. So, nowadays we hear a lot that Sunbird is built in India for the world. So that's a very important message to go out. And there are various countries who are also at various stages looking at adopting Sunbird for their education as well as beyond education needs, right? And in education, Sunbird is already a proven solution. You saw the examples Mani gave. And after that, I think Chavi covered very relevant items of where our team has been part of this journey, and how fortunate we have been along with other partners to be part of this journey from the start, from its inception till today. The landscape has changed. It has only grown, it has multiplied, and there is scope for further multiplication. And that's why we are here today talking about how we can help you as a potential adopter to take this forward, right? So I'll touch upon a little bit on that, is how we can help you. What you see on your screen is a simple workflow which can be applied on various scenarios where you have a use case which you want to realize. Do you want to build it from scratch, or do you want to utilize or piggyback on something which is already available and just build incremental on top of it, which helps you realize your use case, right? So in that phase of understanding your use case and trying to map it to what is existing, we and our team can help you get a better understanding of certain Sunbird building blocks which might be closer to your use case. If there is not a one-to-one match, there would be a close to 70-80% match. Some gaps exist. How do you need or would like to fill those gaps? How we can help you, and the partner ecosystem can help you fill those gaps. Get your solution up and running at the shortest time period possible, And that's the advantage the Sunbird building blocks bring on table, right? And that is what we would like with our experience to help you get there. Once you have come to a decision point, and then you look at what scale you want to operate in, how you want to start, right? So those decisions you make, and then we are also here to become your partner in this journey to taking your solution live and supporting it while you work on your customer needs. You need not worry about your day-to-day running of your solution. Also about, we also help you with your customer connections and looking at how customers are responding to your solution, what are the major functionalities or repeated needs which customers are highlighting, flow it back into your product, and then you could churn them out at the quickest cycle possible. So this is the value we want to bring on the table with being in the ecosystem uh, for a long period of time, and we are excited to bring it out to the world so that we get exposed to you and you are able to utilize our expertise to actually realize your use case and bring it out in the shortest time period possible and continue to run it, right? So I've spoken about this, that these are the ways to collaborate, right? And we are looking at two major categories here: some quick starter packs to enablement services, right? The enablement services start from a design phase and go down to the support level, where your solution is rolled out in the market, and our team can help you with the support services as well as ensuring that your product stays at the highest quality level possible, which your customers are using, right? And this could be both in the uh, not for profit sector as well as commercial sector, wherever you operate. It's your decision where you operate, but our support is available for anywhere you operate, and we have expertise in helping you design for your need. Quick starter pack is more on the area where you are on the fence to take a decision whether to adopt Sunbird or not. We could help you with some functional knowledge for you to understand whether Sunbird and some of or which of its building blocks are relevant for your solution. Uh, it could help you make a decision or would want to go deeper into it. You could have your own tech team also come in if you have, or we could engage more partners to come in and help you with that, right? As you decide to move forward with it. So there are various options on that. What I'm going to take to the next slide is a exclusive website which we have built as a center of excellence for Sunbird, where you could visit and you could put in your queries and you could get in touch with us. Of course, there is a phone number down there, there's a QR code, and also you have an email ID. Or you could go to qualitrix.com/Sunbird and you will be able to see this entire page there, which has a few videos which help you understand. And these videos are from the ecosystem, not necessarily only from our team, but our team comes in when you would like to make a decision and go forward with it. Then in this whole journey, we figure out together where is that we can help you, be your partner and be your companion through this journey, right? So this is where I will stop, and if there is anything else, Chavi or Mani, you would like to add, please come in. Otherwise, I see one question which is here. It says, any managed training available on Sunbird? yes, as I showed you, there are a few trainings which we have carved out specifically for Sunbird, and these could be initial level, high level, few hours just for your understanding of Sunbird and its key functionalities based on its key building blocks. It will also depend on the domain in which you want to utilize Sunbird. As I mentioned earlier, Sunbird building blocks could be utilized beyond education. So don't constrain your thought process only towards education, although its biggest or the largest use cases are in education. But if you look at COVID, right, it's in health, and it's vaccination certificates for billion plus people being delivered, right? So don't constrain your thought process in that, and we are here to so there's another question about how much cost will come. Can you share the link here? Okay, I'm just going to say if qualitrix.com/sunbird. If you can go there, you'll be able to, you'll get a form wherein you can put in your details, and we will get in touch with you promptly, and then we can talk about what is that you're looking at, and the cost aspects as well can be discussed accordingly.
Manmeet, I would also like to add that you would have got an invite for today from my email ID, but please feel free to reach out if you have any queries. I'm just putting my email ID again here. It's chavi.goel@qualitrix.com. So if you have further queries, you could always later on also contact us on this email ID.
Thanks, Chavi. And thanks, Mani, for putting in the link. Yeah. Any more questions? I think these are very, very good and relevant questions because our webinar is aimed towards this. And I'm glad to hear a couple of questions around the same. Okay.
I think if there's any further questions, please post them here. We will send you a link of the webinar recording. Please feel free to message us or mail us any further questions that you have, and we'll be happy to help with those.
Yeah, we are eager to be part of your journey, contribute towards realizing your solution in whichever domain you're looking at. We are as excited as you to grow the Sunbird ecosystem and adoption. This really opens up the gates for all of you to come in, put in your queries, so that we can work together in the near future, right? So utilize all, Chavi has shared her email ID. You can go to qualitrix.com/sunbird and put in your queries there as well. And we can get into a detailed discussion about your needs as well as your use case, how possibly you can take this journey. We are here to, as a team, to work along with you. So thanks a lot. Thank you, Chavi and Mani, for taking everybody through what is Sunbird, its major adopters, and also our journey, enriching journey, which has been so far with the core Sunbird team as well as its adopters. All right. Look forward to hearing more from the audience and being in touch. Okay. And we look forward to hosting more webinars, which will be more towards one of these areas where we start seeing some traction and interest. And the offerings which you have seen today from us. Right. Thank you so much. Have a great evening, and we hope to be in touch soon. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.